Hello, I'm Victor Rivera, and welcome to D&Me, a show where I play with myself. I play D&D with myself. This is so exciting. Thank you so much for being here. This is my first Twitch ever, and oh my gosh, this is amazing, and I am so nervous. And this is going to be so much fun. Thank you for everyone who has shared, liked, reacted, tweeted, commented, upvoted, did the little story stuff, anything involving my announcement today. So today, July 28th, 2021, I announced that I will be doing this show called D&Me, where it's a one man playing Dungeons and Dragons by himself. And I wanted to spend today for this first Twitch to tell you what all that means. So this is Twitch, which is like a live streaming. It's a lot of the time used for video games, but I will be doing Dungeons and Dragons. So that's excellent. And speaking of which, thank you for joining me, Player's Handbook, Monster Manual, and Dungeon Master Guide. I've read like 16 pages of the Dungeon Master Guide, so we'll get there. It's a process. It's process, not It's progress, not product. So there we go. Thank you so much. So what is this, Victor? So D&Me is a new show where one man will be playing Dungeons and Dragons. And normally Dungeons and Dragons is a very cooperative role-playing game with two or more people. But I wanted the challenge of doing this by myself. And it will start off as a stream on Twitch, and then I will take the video and then I'll post it on YouTube so that people that don't have Twitch can watch it and enjoy it. And then eventually I'm going to make it into a podcast, so you don't even have to watch my face and my gesticulation. We will... and then it also has the social medias of Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and I will hold out on TikTok as long as I can. I promise you that. I'm 3 days away from 30, so I don't need that in my life right now. But this is where I will play the Dungeon Master, which is like the head storyteller, like the guy who... or gal, or non-binary, the person who does the whole story. So that's the Dungeon Master or DM. And then I'll be playing 4 characters from campaigns past that I made, which is a good segue into... Dungeons and Dragons is about like fantasy and like dungeons and like dragons and stuff. But like 83% of Dungeons and Dragons is unfortunately like scheduling, where you get your 2 or more people and then sit them down together and go, okay, so when are we going to play consistently? I am free only on Tuesday this week. And then unfortunately people go, well, that's the only day I work. So it's kind of like that. Or there's last minute cancellations, or like it's just a lot. So I wanted to try this experiment, this artistic journey where I want to see how Dungeons and Dragons can be consistent. So I'm going to try and do this every week, maybe on Wednesday, because I like the D and me, and then the M like reverses down to the W. Did that the other way around. There we go. So that's where this kind of birthed out of. Plus... campaigns that I have played, there are a few. I've done a few campaigns in my life, and they tend to just, life gets in the way and they fizzle out and kind of get lost to the sands of time. So there are a couple characters that I made 5+ years ago that I love dearly, and I still want to play them. So I am bringing them back, and I'll talk all about that later. But let's see, I have in my notes, yes, I love D&D so much. Okay, great. But real quick, my history in D&D. I started playing December 22nd, 2015, so for 5.5 years, pretty much. I am the culmination of all the D&D shows that I've listened to or that I've watched. So I started out with some Acquisitions Incorporated, and then I devoured all of the Adventure Zone. Their first campaign, which is called Balance, I think is one of the best pieces of art ever. It transcends the media of podcast. So that's amazing. And they are doing Ethersea right now, which I'm listening to. And even though it's not really Dungeons and Dragons, back in 2018, I was caught up to 2/3 of the way through season 2 of Hello from the Magic Tavern. And then I watched or listened to all of Critical Role, the first campaign, which is called Vox Machina. And that's 114 episodes, 15. And then I am currently through episode 87 of their second campaign, which is called, The Mighty Nine. So that is fun. And then I watched half of Exandria Unlimited, and then I am also completely caught up with Dungeons and Daddies, not a BDSM podcast. So my experience of D&D is very much through other shows and like their rules and stuff I've gathered on the interwebs and stuff. So this is me and D&D. It's D&Me. It's lovely. All right, scrolling down. So the thing I love the most about Dungeons and Dragons is I'm an actor. I'm a performer. You can look me up on IMDb. Victor Rivera. Boy, howdy, did I just forget my name? No, I didn't. I'm just really excited for this. Where the role-playing, again, is great for me. I love figuring them all out. And something I think elevates D&D and other role-playing games just to an art form in itself is the dramatic irony. So that is where a player will know something that the character doesn't and acts accordingly of like, oh, well, the character doesn't know that this is happening, so it would not be fair for me to metagame, which is like stepping out of where you are in your current given circumstances, and then like playing this because it might help you win the game, but it's not really what the character would do in the moment. So I encourage all my players and all the D&D newbies that I've ever taught, like that's the key to D&D for me. So dramatic irony, either that or like two characters not knowing the same information. So if everyone's playing at a table with a DM and then the DM says, well, this person knows this information, then everyone heard it. But I really encourage my players especially to play off of that dramatic irony and only doing what their character would really do. So, with that said, two different type of parts. One, I want to experiment with how to do dramatic irony with one brain. So, it's me being the DM and then playing the 4 different characters. So, this is, again, an artistic experiment. I have thought that one of the maybe challenges of this game, of this show, would be like how I would cheat and like play the best version outcome of something. But I really do sincerely want to try and play the best dramatic irony and make for the best story of like what would these very different characters that I have lined up, what would they all do differently from each other, and how to interact with the world, and like even figuring out the different like personality traits and opinions and stuff to like dealing with loot or dealing with like a child in danger and stuff. So I really want to play that. That's my main. It's for me to have fun with D&Me and then to figure out the best dramatic irony. And it's going to be hard because it is one person knowing all 5 roles, but that's what I want to do. And to help that, I decided not to make my own open world campaign because I am doing that currently with the group that I am the dungeon master of, but it's a lot to make an open world campaign. If any of my DM friends out there They know the struggles and the challenges, and it's a beautiful, just collaborative art form. But I just want to make one open world campaign right now and not another one. So instead, I want to go to the pre-published adventure guides and campaign guides, where it's classic D&D. It's stories that people already know. Some people already know. So it'll draw in the classic D&D crowd of like Tomb of Annihilation or Curse of Strahd or others that I totally can think of and I know off the top of my head. And so I want to do that so that it's much easier for me to navigate, instead of like me trying to come up with 8 million things. So I can only read a 250-page, 4-columned, single-space book and try and figure that out myself. So that will be the easiest. So it'll bring in classic D&D fans, but then it'll also bring in D&D fans who might have never read an adventure guide or a campaign guide. I have never read that. These are the only D&D books that I've ever read. So, like, I don't know anything about Waterdeep. I don't know, like, I don't really know who Dritz is. Dritz Diorden? Dritz, yeah. So I know they're drow. I know maybe there's a panther. I know there's swords, probably. But I don't know that, and I'm very excited to like learn of all the lore as we go through this. So with that, I have a adventure guide picked out, and I'm reading it now, and I'm preparing. And if this D&Me experiment goes well, then there are 4 different boxed starter sets, each with their own adventure. There are 8 core and supplemental rulebooks. There are 8 campaign guides and 16 different published adventures, including the one I have chosen for my first adventure. So if this goes well, then there will be many sessions and many me going through campaigns, and then we'll all learn of what Wizards of the Coast has published, because they're excellent and exciting. So, with the disclaimer that it's only one person, so there is arguably the metagaming, I do want to talk about some rules. So, I personally, Victor, have no interest in cheating. That is not fun for me. I could, like... let me reach for my D&D dice, and I have it just on my desk. I can go, oh, look, a natural 20, yay, every single time, and that's not fun for me. I promise you that I will do honest dice rolls. So when you hear, then I will tell you that is a 17. And then a 4. I mean, oh, no. So I promise you that is the thing. And until I, get better stuff, like a green screen that goes all the way to the let's see, let me do this. This is half the fun because it's mirrored. Okay, so reach all the corners, and like I will eventually have like a GoPro or something that's hooked up so that you can see my dice tray. Oh, I need a dice tray. But I will do honest dice rolls, because it's not fun for me, and it won't be fun for you if I go, oh no, the big bad guy got a 1. They fall off the cliff and die. So that's the most important. Dramatic irony is first, and then dice rolls, and then the actual rules. So again, I've only read very few pages of this. I will keep reading it. And then I'll read, the thing, and then, like, sneak attack, how you don't have to be hidden, and blah, 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 blah. But I have adopted, I'm more of a, it's the spirit of the rules instead of the wording. So there are some homebrew rules that I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, I love that. Or variant rules that I love and will incorporate. So, I will not be playing like 100% strict D&D where I'm like, well, actually, I can't do. I mean, I'll do disadvantage if I have like a ranged weapon and I'm up like point blank, which happened in my game the other night, which is one of the rules that I adhere to. But like, for example, intimidation rules are normally are normally charisma based, but I read that if you have a character who's like super buffed and like an ogre, like they could roll strength, because that's another show of intimidation, which I think is marvelous. So I'm gonna do like little adjustments like that. And for my 4 characters that I have, which these are their little homes, you will see next week where I'll play my first intro. They will live here, but they'll be the shadows. So, excuse me. You will see, like that. But we'll get there when we get there. So I did take those characters, and excuse me. I wanted to have a fun experience, so I did just a little bit of tweaking all around, like, because my first character was, again, in 2015, back before I knew what the heck I was doing with anything. So my rogue, I didn't know how to do sneak attack, or really anything, or attack bonuses, for example, on all weapons, and what an attack bonus was, and like weapon. So I went back and like I pretty much had to relearn D&D for this, which is awesome. But I did tweak some things. I did rebalance some characters, because 3 out of my 4 characters all had the mending and minor illusion cantrips, which is very Victor, but I don't think 4 characters with like the same spell, so I had to like redistribute some spells. So yes, that there. So it's not 100% like I'm not a rule bad guy. If there's any rules that I'm like completely forgetting, then chat, you could gently nudge me in the right direction. And speaking of chat, thank you, Drew and Exneos Revenge. I don't. Is that a thumbs up? I hope that's a thumbs up. And then a Speed Lightning. For adventures like this where I'm like it's just me talking and like interacting with y'all, the audience, then I will read the chat at certain points. But when I'm actually doing the show, then it's me storytelling and being the DM and doing the 4 characters. So that's all so much bandwidth in my head. So I will not be reading the chat. I will read every single lovely thing you say after the episode. And then I have some really cool ideas and incentives about like reaching out to my different characters and stuff. So all of that is good. I just want to let you know that please feel free to chat and like comment on Facebook and all the social medias. I have D&Medias. So I have D&Me, and then like D&, D&Me mail, which is DnMeAdventures@gmail.com. So they don't do it's N instead of ampersand. So D-N-Me. Oh, it's right here. It's that. So DnMeAdventures. On Twitch, YouTube, eventually. YouTube is doing a custom link thing where I have to be on it for rules and regulations. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And then my email for it is DnMeAdventures@gmail.com. So please feel free to email and again, whatever you feel comfortable for doing. You're cute AF, Juicer. So like that. We're having fun here. So that, what the heck was I talking about? So yes, chat. So feel free to do chat. I will, for future sessions, not have the chat box open so I won't be distracted. But again, after every episode, I will go back and read, and then I will respond and answer questions. If you have any questions, put them in the chat or save them till the end. And then we will, I'm just going to do that right now, actually. And then I'll get back to you. There we go. Boy, attention spans, man. I am trying my best. So, instead of being 100% faithful Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition with other people, I invite you to imagine it as me writing a novel out loud, and you're tagging along for the adventure. with randomness and unpredictability from the dice rolls, which are fun and bring a whole. Let me show you something real quick. So I have so many dice here in Atlanta that I have them in a large Taco Bell cup. So that's my dice. And then I was inspired by one of my friends, Joe, to make a dice tower out of a large Taco Bell cup. So it's very good with a straw in it. So let's see. Dun, dun, and this is fabulous for the podcast, but that's so good. All right, one more time. Yes, that's excellent. So it's just fun stuff like that. And speaking of which, if you can't guess what my favorite color is by now, it's blue. No. So for flexibility, thank you everyone who's joining me in this 20 minutes of me rambling with my talking points. But everything in this is new for me. Like doing Twitch is terrifying. I bought this very expensive mic, which I'm very proud of because it's an adult purchase, but I'm learning how to do stuff. So like noise gate, you can hear my AC running in the background, which eventually I'll figure out how to do stuff. But everything is new. Twitch, chat, streaming. So I thank you for your patience and your understanding and your love and support. I, again, want to try and have like a consistent day. So like, I really like Wednesdays at 7. This is neat. It just feels nice, you know? If things go extraordinarily well, then I might add a second day, like maybe a Saturday, or do like a fun thing on Mondays or something. I have a lot of ideas, y'all. I have Crash Bang Boom. I have like notebooks of ideas that are color coordinated. So there's a lot of great stuff coming. I really am excited about doing this announcement, and reaching out to everyone who is so kind and being here right now. Thank you. I will post this on YouTube so that you can watch it maybe Thursday, July 29th, 2021. And then beyond that, to podcast. This might not be like a great podcast episode, but you know what? What the heck? Why not? It's a good buffer and introduction. So thank you for your flexibility and the patience and understanding again. And I'll figure out how long each show is, if it's like 2 hours, or if we're having an amazing time, 3.5 hours or something. We'll figure it out. And community. So I want to build a community with this. It's 2021. Last year was really rough. The first couple months of this year were really rough. So, and I've been on a personal emotional journey lately, ending with this, which is amazing. Look, I did all this in a couple weeks. I made this. I had to rebuild this frame, like the little portrait frame thing, like 3 times. But with all that, please, as my audience, as my loving, adoring people, please be kind to each other. I just want this to be a positive, loving, warm, awesome, fun game. That's why I was talking about the rules and how I'm not going to follow them. So, well, I'm going to follow them, but I really want this to be a supportive endeavor for everyone to enjoy. Please, just negative energy, I don't want that here. I want that to be just in my villains. Look at this scary skeleton guy. But please be nice to each other in the comments and the chat. Just the best energies. Please. So I also we'll vote on this later. No, we're not. I am the victor. But I thought about, it's D and me, but then the community is D and we. So again, a lot of great thoughts. But yes, as a community, I would love like fan art and fan questions and fan comments that I'll read out loud. Here's one of my best ideas. So in the chat and in comments and blah, 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 if you reach out to one of my characters and ask them a question, then I won't read it for that episode, but I really want to answer my favorites in the intermission for next week's episode. So if you like have a question, or if you read out if you dedicate a comment to one of my characters, I have not seen in any of my shows really like personalized in character kind of conversations and stuff. And then when we get there, when I have a PO box, like, you can send me stuff, and then I'll do unboxings and characters, and that'll be really fun. So, if you want to send me stuff eventually, when I earned it. Oh no, that's not bad. So, yes, that's something I'm very excited about. Interactions, subscriptions, incentives, etc. So, this was a hodgepodge of 25 minutes. Are there any questions? Let me go to chat real quick and then see what's going on. All right, let's see. Yeah, for Wednesdays. Go Victor. Thank you, Drew. The sound quality. Again, I really hope that's a thumbs up, because, again, this was not an inexpensive mic. But look how many notes I have, y'all, about gameplay and branding and technical stuff. And I have just pages, and I have reminders. So it's really awesome. I'm very excited. And if this doesn't get, okay, this is horrible audio. Let me just put everything away. Okay. If this is nothing else, I just want this to be a fun adventure where I play some D&D regularly, and you enjoy it with me. What else was I gonna say? I don't know. I'm just very excited for this. This is, oh boy. I'm a Ziploc bag of like spaghetti nerves right now. But also, I normally have like a fan pointing at me because it's Atlanta and it's almost August and it's hot. But just like with carpool karaoke, they turn the AC in the cars off. So just, you'll know that I'm being here. I won't wear sleeves ever again. I'm not a sleeves guy. Yay, so sound quality is thumbs up. Thank you. Hi, D&Me. Big fan already. Love this idea and that beard. Thank you. People ask me about my beard, and I literally do nothing. So, QDF, yes, you were showing off your beard, and I still am. Purple Heart. Thank you, Peter. Here. Hi, Mom. Dodie or something. That is a very good Twitch name. That's very good. And so, my first question, Drewster, will we learn about the characters tonight? No, that will be a surprise for next week. I have, if you've ever played with me before, you might know one or two of them, but I have 4 characters, and Drew, you might know one of them. But I have 4 characters that I have, and I've done a lot of research and reading all of my notes. I have so many notes, y'all. But we will not learn about them tonight. We will learn about next week. So next week is August. I want to do it at 7 again because that's a good time. August 4th. So August 4th. Let's see. Also, what kind of mic you using? It's V-Nice. Thank you. This is a Yeti by Blue Designs. It is silver. I got it at Target. And these are headphones. Sony. I got them. No, I got them at Best Buy like 2 years ago. Yay. And this is a green screen chair attachment thingy. And these are the books I own. So I'll take a picture. Let's see. Peter, I have questions, but they should come for next week when you announce the characters. Yes, I'm very excited to show you my characters. They're good. And Peter, you might know one of them too. But I don't think anyone knows all of them. which is very exciting. Yeah. So thank you. This was Victor. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. This was a fabulous half hour. Scott, hi. Purple heart to you, my friend. So thank you. And then we'll do like sponsorships and stuff. I don't know how they work. And if it's just, we're figuring all this out together. This will be on YouTube soon. It might even be today. I don't know. And look how perfectly the center my mic is. So that's very good for me. And then the monster manual, like I lined it up. Oh boy, mirroring. This is going to be half of the show, y'all. I promise. Excellent. So thank you. I will stay around for just a little bit more for any other questions. I don't know how many people are watching. This is exciting. This is all new to me. But I will pull this card. So my birthday is August 1st. So please like, subscribe, share, follow, retweet, do all of the things. All right, so Peter says, tilt your head, and it'll say Monster Man above you, worth it. So just, let's see, me yawning. There it is. Yeah. And with pit stains. Look at that. I never have pit stains. This is exciting. Yes, we did it. Yes, so August 1st is my birthday, so please share D&Me. I literally forgot as I was preparing all this. I was like thinking about like the future and like a couple months down the road. I literally forgot that my friends are going to watch this, and my mom and my dad and my sister. So thank you all for your so much love and support. I literally forgot you would watch it. I was like, okay, so the D&D public in the audience and like just complete strangers. So I was like, okay, just tell them to be nice to each other. But yes, August 1st, my birthday. I'm going to turn 30. Thank you, Mom. Happy birthday to me. So please, that is my birthday gift. I will be selfish for just the one day of the year where it's Victor Day. I love you all. Thank you, Drew. I love you all. Thank you so much. I will end this because I don't know how to end this yet. But we're still figuring it out. So, thank you so much for joining me. Come back next week, August 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. To watch me nay nay. We're not gonna do that. Remember, whip my hair back and forth. That kind of faded out of the spotlight, huh? Let's bring that back. Let's not bring that back. I have a lot of hair. Golly, this is not important to anything. So thank you so much. I don't know how to end this yet, but I'll just show that. Yes, thank you. I need a sign off. Go play with yourself. Nope, that's bad.